Hello and welcome to Forever Rugby on Forever Sports. And in the 11th or the 12th round rather of the Currie Cup, the Western Province will be hosting the Sigma Lions, with both sides needing a victory. The Western Province still in the hunt for semi-finals. The Lions pretty much out of it unless a lot of results go their way and they really do sort of storm to two late victories. But very, very unlikely for the Johannesburg outfit to actually make the Currie Cup semi-finals. Western Province also not guaranteed a semi-final even if they win their remaining games. They will need a couple of results to also go their way, but important for them not to sort of stumble or trip over a Sigma Lions side which, whilst is underperforming, has the capacity to score tries. And any team that can score tries, can win games. With the Sigma Lions, it's been a case of their defense not being good enough, but it's not been a case of them being unable to get over the try line. And I think that, if you want to build a side, if it's a case of you're conceding 5-6 tries every single weekend and you're not scoring any, I think that was probably about zero. That's probably the worst position to be in. Be in a position where you are maybe conceding not a lot of points, but also not scoring points, or else being in a position where you can score a lot of points, but you also concede a lot of points, means that you've got one aspect of your game that you can sort out to get towards a winning formula. Western Province in many ways are quite similar. They are also scoring quite a lot of points and playing quite a nice brand of rugby, or trying to play quite a nice brand of rugby, but it's their defense that has let them down at times. When you think about that last minute loss against the Griquas, a last minute draw against the Pumas this weekend, it's almost like it's a concentration issue where they kind of sort of switch off towards the end and can't put in that 80-minute performance that they need to try and get a very important result. Before we look at the team itself, please do smash like on the video, subscribe to the channel as well. As always, we have to say a big thank you to Manscaped, who are currently supporting the channel. Manscaped is the #1 brand for men's below the waist grooming. They've got the perfect tools for your family jewels, and they're giving you 20% off as well as free shipping with the code FOREVER. You can join over 2 million men worldwide who trust Manscaped, and they've recently launched in South Africa. 20% off, free shipping. Use the code FOREVER at manscaped.com. Go and check it out. But if we're looking at the teams for tomorrow, Western Province, a couple of injuries have sort of necessitated quite a few changes. JD Schickling, Sebelis Nuttall expected to be out for quite a while. Ricky Pretorius out with a concussion. We've also seen Namaklaba getting a bit of time off there as well. So a couple of injuries to the Western Province side, which have forced a few changes. John de Jong as well, also currently injured. So if we're looking at the lineup, Dan Blelio is starting at loose head. He's next to Skara and Tabeni, and Neethling for Sheer will start tight head. He will be the #1 tight head going into the United Rugby Championship, according to Dobson in his press conference earlier. The lock combination, Ernst van Rijn will captain the side. He's got David Mayhazy next to him, so quite a young lock combination, but these two are putting together quite a nice partnership, playing quite a lot of rugby. JD Schickling will come into the side, as soon as he's fit, but it does look like another lengthy layoff for him. Probably was preventing him from being part of the Springbok setup, actually. And if we look at the loose forwards, Dion Farid, Johan de Tooy, and Evan Ruiz, so quite a nice sort of combination of ball fetching, ball carrying, and defense in those three options. Evan Ruiz will be looking to continue to impress. Dion Farid brings in a lot of experience. Gordon Masimla comes in as Paul Levette drops into the bench and partners Tim Swiel. And the Stormers can often sort of rely on Tim Swiel. When Tim Swiel has a good day, the Stormers generally play quite well. But if he has an off day, they can struggle with their game management. The centre pairing tomorrow will be Dan du Plessis and Ruan Nel. Ruan Nel back from the sevens and will slot in at outside centre. Edel van der Merwe, Cyril Peterson will be the two wings. Cyril Peterson back on the wing with Warwick Gelant back from injury, fit firing, and I think probably be part of the Springbok squad quite soon with the way he's playing and looking. We keep talking about Apple, Fassi, and Ches and Colby as fullback options, and I think a lot of people have forgotten just how good Warwick Gelant was looking before that injury. On the bench, the 19-year-old Andre Hugo Venter, Leon Lyons, and Sazi Sandi. Then we've got Namaklaba, who's I think played his longest stretch of games since about 2018 in the last couple of weeks, so he gets a rest. Marcel Tennyson as well. Then the backline replacements are Paul de Vet, Cornel Smith, as well as Tristan Late. It's a very decent side. I think despite a couple of changes, they've probably packing a punch to get past a Sigma Lion side, which continues to be sort of plagued by injuries and isolation and COVID issues, and they just sort of haven't been able to put together a side which even sort of resembles their strongest side. So if we're looking at it, they've changed the front row quite a bit. Nathan Mabeth gets a start, as well as the first Currie Cup appearance of Churgan Phillies. We haven't seen much of. Jakob Asaki will be sort of the experienced head of the shoulders there, although Nathan Mabeth has played quite a lot of rugby. Scotland Junior International, trying to sort of make his way in South Africa. And then we've got PJ Steenkamp and Ruan Skuman. PJ Steenkamp had a decent game on the weekend up against the Bulls. Did concede a try, which did miss a tackle rather, which conceded a try. But MJ Pulse is back in the lineup, which is a very, very big boost. Sibasiso Sanguini and Travis Gordon will continue to play. So a very, very young loose trio, as we've sort of come to expect really from the Lions. When in doubt, it's just youngsters. The halfback combination of Andre Warner and Jordan Hendrickson will continue. The backline is pretty much the same. Ras McClana, Stian Pienaar, Burger Odendaal, Wandisila Similani, and EW Fuyun. This backline doesn't really change much, with injuries coming back. You've got Gianni Lombard, who is sort of set to go to Japan. You've got Tian Swanepoel. So it's all sort of fullback, really, with Tian Swanepoel. If they make the Edward van der Merwe signing, where does he slot in? You've got the likes of James Malense, who could be coming back at inside centre. So a couple of really sort of youngsters coming through, but I wouldn't say too many sort of big mainstays that are going to sort of push their way into that starting lineup. Off the bench, Morne Brandon comes into the side. Steve Satole is playing very well at the moment, is partnered by the youngster Asanate and Clavacanyo, brings a lot of bulk, a lot of physicality at scrum time and in the open play. Then Madisi Mtiyana, on the back of his Currie Cup sort of introduction to Currie Cup in the last week, will get a chance off the bench. The experience of Ross Cunha and Dan Creel in the backline, as well as Manuel Russ, who was playing a lot at outside centre when Wandisila Similani was with the Springboks. It's such a young and inexperienced pack, and I think that continues to be the issue. You look at that Lions backline, and I think that they're quite close to being a very, very good backline. I think that if Jordan Henderson was coming off the bench, for example, and they managed to keep Alton Yankees or had Gianni Lombard, you could probably get quite excited about this side. But it's the pack that sort of continues to be the issue. Without Vincent Tuka, without Franco Horn, without Willem Alberts, without Steve Stolle and Carly Sardi, even with them, who's coming off the bench, they just don't seem to quite have the strong enough pack to be able to lay the foundations to allow that backline to run amok. Because I think there's some very good players in there. I think Hendrickson, McClana, Similani are very, very exciting talents. They could all be future Springboks. Stian Pienaar can pack a punch. Burger Udendaal's got a lot of experience. They've got to bring in a fullback, but it's just the pack which continues to be an issue with the Lions. And I think that's probably where the Western Province will target the Lions and try to really get on the front foot tomorrow even down in Cape Town. It is kind of finals rugby really for the Western Province. They can't afford to lose games. They've got to be trying to get as many points as possible if they are to try and find their way in semi-finals. For the Lions, while their fate isn't really in their hands, but if they are to make any sort of late surge, they've got to make sure they get 2 bonus points win back-to-back against the Western Province, against the Sharks. Importantly for the Lions, they can't actually afford, if they are trying to get a bonus point win tomorrow, they equally need to deny Western Province any points and hope that the other results in other games go their way. Let me know what you think down in the comments below. Smash a like on the video. Do subscribe to the channel. Go and check out manscaped.com. 20% off and free shipping with the code FOREVER. Thank you very much for watching. My name is Steven, and I'll chat to you soon.